diesel iko wapi? Bei ya unga school fees iko wapi? Tunasema Ruto ameshindwa na kazi, aende wapi?
Dear viewers, welcome to the analysis of YOLENO TV.
Pia tunasema wale mambo ambayo aliahidi wananchi. Tunaona serikali watu wanaumia. Saa imezidi. Hivyo watu wanaendelea kukufa. Nataka tuambie Mheshimiwa Ruto kama ameshindwa na kazi, awachane na hiyo kazi, aende wapi? Pia yeye hakuchaguliwa. Raila Amolo Odinga ndiye aliyefanya nini? Aliyechaguliwa.
Today being the second day after the day Raila Amolo Odinga called for a peaceful mass protest, we've seen a series of protests in Kisumu, we saw in Vihiga, we saw in Nairobi, and we saw in Migori County. We even saw some demonstrations partly in Mombasa. Let us head to Kisumu County's demonstrations. It was a bit, kwa hii ya Kisumu ilikuwa kind of bit serious, and there was a bit of confrontation between the supporters of Raila and the police. And at one particular time, police walionekana kama walikuwa they were giving up. And I think there was a footage I saw somewhere of someone carrying the barricades, the ones that are normally placed on the road to bar people from moving, from accessing the other side. So katika pale Kisumu County ilikuwa a bit serious. But then there was also some demonstrations peaceful in Nairobi. We saw some demonstrations in Kayole and part of CBD, but again they were largely peaceful. Then in Vihiga County there were some demonstrations, but then the place that caught my attention the most was in Migori County. And then Migori County is a bit synonymous in a way. If I remember in 2017, when there was this boycott of general election, and Raila Amolo Odinga said he was not going to participate in that general election, and then the IEBC of the day forced Raila Amolo Odinga's name into the ballot so that people could still vote for Raila Amolo Odinga, because the idea here was to have Raila Amolo Odinga by force to be in the ballot box. So I remember in Mombasa, before I talk about Migori, I remember in Mombasa there was a polling station where the leaders who had vied for the member of parliament during the general election were simply trying to convince people to vote for Raila. It was a bit ironical because they were members of Jubilee, but they were convincing people to vote for Raila Amolo Odinga so that at least the polling station can have Raila Amolo Odinga's numbers there. The idea was to have Raila Amolo Odinga, when they pronounced the result, they said that Raila Amolo Odinga got maybe 2 votes or 3 votes. But if you look at the attendance back then, it was largely, the people there walikuwa wamelenga kabisa hiyo exercise yote. So, but Migori County was a bit different because it was not possible to execute such a plan in Migori County. I remember there was a lot of maandamano on that day, and this forced IEBC to postpone election in that place. And I think election did not take place in Migori County, that is the re-election of 2017. And that's why one of the places which the police will find it very rough if they tend to confront these people is Migori County, Kisumu County, probably Kisii County, and we can say partly and Nairobi County. And then also Mombasa County will be a bit, the demonstrations will be witnessed, because Pwani has always been part of Azimio One Kenya Alliance, or rather Raila Amolo Odinga's bedrock. So Pwani has been one of the bedrocks, Luo Nyanza has been one of the bedrock, Nairobi has been part of it, and a host of other counties. So this strategy by Raila Amolo Odinga in matters of mass protest is going to work. The way you saw the demonstrations in Kisumu, you're likely going to see the same demonstrations in Kisumu tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So until 20th reach, the momentum of these demonstrations will have peaked. We will see a similar scenario in Nairobi. We will see a similar scenario in Mombasa. These demonstrations will be gradually increasing. The strength of demonstration will be increasing gradually. and the police will find it difficult to contain them, because what these people are talking about that made the police find it pretty hard to confront them was that they were talking about chakula kupanda bei. Pesa hakuna, school fees inakuwa tatizo. So it was pretty hard for the police to confront these people who are protesting peacefully. So they talked sense into this police. That's why you find that police were literally trying to withdraw from those zones, and that made the locals cross over to the places where police stood, and this is why demonstrations were largely peaceful. What I know will happen is that when that day, the D-Day, that is 20th of March approaches, when Raila Amolo Odinga finally decides to call this maandamano, then the police will want to get involved fully. And that is the time you will realize that there will be skirmishes and the running battles, and maybe this maandamano will turn chaotic because the police will have involved some tear gas in the demonstrations. So this is what we will see, that is 20th. But we're not projected that such a scenario to happen, but that is what we will see. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you tell us what you think about that projected mass action of the 20th and what happened today, the second day after Raila Amolo Odinga called for the maandamano? Can you tell us what you think about these latest events? And once again, I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.